In the wake of the Cambridge Analytica scandal, Facebook head Mark Zuckerberg has said it will take a few years to fix all the problems linked to the hijacking of private user data. Meanwhile, users of all social media platforms are beginning to understand that whatever they post online can be used in ways that they might not intend. Well, today we have Elizabeth Milovidov, our digital parenting expert, in the studio to talk about the consequences for parents and for their children. Hi, Elizabeth.
Hello there.
So what's the main thing parents need to know?
I think the main thing is for parents to stay calm and to remember that they are the digital guardians of their children. It's their responsibility to keep their children safe online so that way they can use technology safely and responsibly. And I think this is a great moment. It's a great wake-up call for all parents to dig in there and read the terms and conditions that are on these websites. They'll find out that the information is there. We've known.
What if you can't? What if you don't have the time to read the terms and conditions? What if you don't have the legalese expertise, or you can't even find them, perhaps in my case, the terms and conditions? Just give us some quick tips.
Sure. I would say first off, check your privacy settings. That's really easy to do. You can do that on any platform, device, even with your internet service providers. You can look and see. So I would say check your privacy settings. Facebook even has a privacy checkup that makes it really handy for you to reduce the amount of data that you are sending out. I would also say perform a Google alert on your name.
What does that do?
Well, a Google alert, you can put your name in, so you can put in Jeannie Godela, and in any time that your name is mentioned online, you'll receive an email, which is great. So that way, if you see that it's something that you don't like, you can contact that person, the individual, and ask them to remove it. Or if it doesn't work, you can ask the website to remove it for you.
What else? Update your software.
Sure, yeah. Update your software on your devices is really important because the industry is doing a good job trying to keep your data safe. And so they have updates to do exactly that. But when you do put the update on your machine, on your device, be sure to always go back in and check your settings again. So that way, because sometimes things can get set back to default mode. And so you want to go back in and make sure that you have them as strict or unstrict that you want them.
And just what's this last one? Perform a Facebook privacy checkup. How do you get to that?
Yeah, so the privacy checkup, you can do that on your smartphone or on your device. In fact, I just did it with some students before I came here. And you can just go in and you yourself can see and click. You have control of all of this information. You can go in and make your settings for just only you or to friends of friends or the public. I also think that people should optimize their app settings, meaning that they can look in and see how much information are they giving out, their birth date, their location. You can see all of these things. It's there.
Okay. And also I see deleting old accounts. Why is that important?
Yeah, because sometimes these accounts are out there. Again, I just had my students do this where they saw the links that they had with their apps that they linked into Facebook. One student had over 141 because sometimes we use Facebook to have access to other apps. And so I had her go in and she just went through and said, oh my goodness, and started deleting things because it really is a history. That was another thing that I had the students do, was to go in and download their data. It's all available on Facebook, on YouTube. In fact, Google Maps is really fascinating as well because you can go on Google Maps timeline and you can see where you've been. That's if you've opted in for this kind of localization. If you haven't, you're fine. But really, I just want parents to understand that it's all there. They can control it. They just have to go in and look. And as a lawyer, I'm so excited because I've been running around saying, read the terms and conditions. It's there, the privacy checkup. Facebook has a parents portal that has all of this information in there. It's there at your fingertips, parents. Yeah. Go to it.
Tell us just a bit more about what parents specifically can do to protect their kids.
Specifically, one of the things I think that they can do is that they can read through the terms and conditions. They can talk with their children and let them know. With this kind of scandal, everything that's happening, it's a great moment to say, look at all this data that's here. You can even download your own account and show your child, that all of those messages that you sent to Aunt Mary, even the little smiley faces, that they're all there. All the data is saved. And that's a good moment to talk to them and say, is this what you want? Especially if your children are under 13, this might be the time to take them off of the social media platforms that they really shouldn't be on in the first place.
Because is there a limit, an age limit for all of these social media platforms?
Yes. The majority of the social media platforms, the age is 13, and that's because of an American law, the COPPA, which is the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act. And this law was enacted for just this reason, to protect children's data. We didn't want advertisers and marketers, I wasn't part of the drafting committee, but they didn't want people to have children's data. And so that's why it's 13 for the majority of the social media platforms. It's a great moment for parents to get those kids off now and say, let's wait a little while.
Now, one thing that actually might help is something called the General Data Protection Regulation that's coming into effect in Europe in less than 2 months' time.
Yes.
How will that alleviate privacy concerns?
Well, the GDPR is something that we do have data protection regulation. This one's going to replace the previous one from 1995. And basically, it's going to guide businesses into how they're collecting our data. So individuals will be able to have better access. And we'll see. It's going to be a process. It's going to take a while, but I think it's going to be great. It's going to help harmonize privacy and data protection.
Elizabeth, thank you so much for coming in and
No
sharing your
problem.
expertise. Elizabeth Milovidov, if you want more information, you can get resources on digitalparentingcoach.com or in your Facebook group, the Digital Parenting Community.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much.